Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how you doing? How's your mama? How's your family? I'm sorry I'm coming at y'all so late. It's 8:43 p.m. on a Wednesday night. I'm sorry that I'm coming at y'all so late. School just started. I've been working on a lot of things behind the scenes to enhance the channel, make the channel more viewable, easier to watch, but more easy to navigate. Even like my betting videos now I'm getting, you'll see. Betting video gonna drop tomorrow. I'm actually gonna start putting those out towards the middle of the week, like maybe like Wednesday instead of waiting so close to the fights. I have a lot planned, and I want to be consistent. Some double upload days here and there, and at least a video every day. Maybe take Sunday off, but something like that. Ladies and gentlemen, today are we witnessing the end of Israel Adesanya by the man, the myth, the legend, MMA Che. And this is one that I've had on the list for a while. Not for a while. I think he dropped it like 2 days ago. But as soon as he dropped it, like I was eating and I almost watched it. But I was like, nope, don't watch it. Save it for a video. I've made a video where we asked ourselves, is Israel Adesanya washed? Is contender Izzy even a thing anymore? Check that one out. And I made a video. What did I make a video? Oh, dropping the predictions for the card. It's all in a playlist. UFC Saudi Arabia, Adesanya versus Imavov. Go check it out. Every video related to this card is in there. Share this to somebody. They'll enjoy it like I know you will. Like, how, subscribe. How about the heck, man? Don't be stingy. Share me. I'm going to let MMA Che take it away and react like only I can do.
Israel Adesanya's UFC career has been fascinating, to say the least. I mean, this guy's career trajectory has been an absolute...
Bro, the quality on his videos is so bad, but it almost makes his videos better because it's him. You got the lips slightly behind the voice. You got the camera that really won't focus with the bad lighting. Like, it's just interesting. Like MMA Guru, I mean, this dude's huge. That setup ain't upgraded. It probably upgraded, but he has a look and he's sticking with it. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Absolute roller coaster. When he first was rising the ranks in the UFC, he was a real fan favorite. He was seen as a good trash talker. He was seen as, I guess, what you would consider.
He was cringy back then, just like he's cringy now. It's just, you be the hero so long, you live to become the villain.
Consider a savant when it comes to striking, but as the years have gone on, this has changed. People look at him and they just feel nothing but disdain. And exactly where this change occurred, I don't really know, but for me,
I believe the change occurred. I wouldn't say disdain, but they're a little off on Izzy because, Izzy was the new kid on the block and he was starching everybody. He was knocking out everybody. He was running through the middleweight division. Then he had the banger fight with Kevin Gastelum, the I'm Here fight. Then he went on top of that, knocked out Robert Whittaker in spectacular fashion, celebrated, did his thing. But that was fireworks. Then his Costa performance. What he did at the end was crazy, but it's fireworks. And then it almost... I don't know if this was intentional, but you could definitely see it. Izzy's as the fights went on in his career, fight by fight, his output went lower and lower and lower and lower, and his aggressiveness went lower and lower and lower and lower. No matter how much bad blood was in the fight or if it was just cordial, you get what I'm saying. And in that aspect, he started fighting as if he was trying to protect the belt. Not in a way like, I'm going to go get this guy. I'm going to go beat this guy. It was more of a way of, I'm not going to lose to this guy. You see what I'm saying? It was more defensive mode. Lucas says cruise mode, Izzy. And it was just outpoint, get your way to a decision, get a payday, get back in the gym so we can do it again. He was active. He wanted to be active, and that's the price you have to pay to be active. You can't be as chaotic, and you know what I'm saying? So, That's where it started.
For me, it was seeing the video of him with a mouthful of food, and he
Come on.
That's disgusting. I really made me feel just not good, and I think that to me that's pretty much it. All right, Adesanya's
I don't get it. Why? What was the point of that? But ew, I don't like seeing chewed up food in my girlfriend's mouth.
Fucking
I was not watching that.
Okay?
I'm sorry.
I don't think that he's actually attracted to animals. I don't think that, but I think he's weird. And I don't like it. I fucking hate it, okay?
He's a little weird.
Jeebies just thinking
more than a little.
Regardless of all of that,
that,
he has a fight coming up this weekend against Amavov. And it's crazy to say, but
that Gara tat is so hard.
This weekend against Amavov.
That Gara tat is so hard.
And it's crazy to say, but he's only a slight favorite in this matchup. And I think that's surprising, but like...
Spoiler alert, if you guys haven't went and watched the full card prediction, that's in the playlist, or haven't watched the preview, I did pick Nasruddin Imavov to beat Israel Adesanya by decision. I think he's going to get in Izzy's face. I think he's going to be able to wear on Izzy a bit, force some clinching exchanges, maybe mix in some grappling. Might not even be probably won't be too successful with it, but it'll take some air out of Izzy's lungs. I think the new muscle mass on Izzy has also made him a little slower. And it hasn't given him the power that's worth that kind of muscle mass. I liked his hands in Izzy in the DDP fight, but I think people are kind of overrating his performance because he looked tired. But he didn't let him being tired lower his output. But like when you're tired, the pop is going off your shots and you're less dangerous. Imavov's nasty in the pocket. I think Imavov's going to try to make it a war, and in a war, I think Imavov comes out on top.
Like I mentioned earlier, people used to view Adesanya like he was a striking savant, but it's just not quite the same anymore. And it's not because he's not an extremely skillful striker. He is, but there is so much film study on Adesanya at this point. He has had so many 5-round championship fights that
the closed eyes, shit like that don't work, or the little, because we know you're doing that so you can so you can throw the question mark kick. We know you love the question mark kick.
His game, to me, is outlined very clearly. And at the end of the day, there are some holes he has on the feet. And I think what it comes down to is Adesanya is not a...
And when you get in his face, I was going to say that when you get in his face and get past the kicking range, it's like his arms are too long. And he's going to try to counter. He wants to counter. But he's just so open. Like when you get in his face, he's hittable. He's not very defensively sound. He relies on his length a lot to get out of the way of strikes, and it can get him in trouble. Like did with Strickland. That's a perfect shot from Sean Strickland. I'm known as a Sean Strickland hater. Not a hater. I just think he's fucking glazed, and I think he's boring as fuck. That was a good shot from Sean Strickland.
Particularly strong boxer, and he's not a great counterpuncher. These are 2 points that I had to hammer home for.
Which is what he only wants to do. He doesn't want to only counter strike, but that's where his bread and butter has been in his younger career. And, dude, I don't know if it's instincts.
Great.
I picked Israel Adesanya against DDP. I thought he was going to do the Anderson Silva versus... Oh, no. My casualness. Ultimate Fighter 1. Forrest Griffin. I thought he was going to Anderson Silva Forrest Griffin him. Like right here. Where's the counter? He just almost John Jones in a way, extend and frame away.
Counterpuncher. These are 2 points that I had to hammer home for years before people finally started taking it seriously.
I guess.
And of course, I'm sure a certain number of the population, every single time I say that, goes, no, wait, no, he's countered people before. And what I would say
that was
to those
his bread and butter,
is,
Che.
Nice. That's really cool. That's really cool. That's really good for you, man. All right. Just because you have done something before does not mean that is your strong suit. Of course, if you
I'll let him keep going.
go out there like Robert Whittaker did in the first fight, and you're just winging these wild overhands way.
Is that not what DDP did?
out of range and you're missing and you're ending up way out of position. Yeah, I mean, you can't gift Adesanya something. He'll take it, all right? But, I mean, just because Conor McGregor wrestle-fucked Max Holloway that one time does not mean that he's a strong wrestler.
I think that's a bad analogy, man. I think that's a bad analogy. Izzy was the guy who would frustrate you because you can't get to him. And he didn't establish his leg. He didn't establish the jab. He didn't establish the backhand. You know, now he's kind of styling on you a bit. He's doing some spinning attacks. He's throwing some flashy kicks. And now you're coming at him because you know you need to come out at him because he's outpointing you. And the minute you overextend or the minute you come at him, he's going to counter. Or he'll get in your face. He'll walk you down to the point to where you have to throw to get him off of you. He'll slip that punch. And he'll go for the finish. Derek Brunson style.
Okay, and when you watch pretty much every single Israel Adesanya fight that he's ever had, what you're going to see is when guys would rush at him with punches, he was not slipping and then making them pay with a devastating 4-punch combination in the pocket.
He's
no,
framing.
that's just not his game. What he would do is slide away, back to range, where he would jab you and he would leg kick you from far away. All right, that's just what he does. And when you look at the show,
that's later in his championship career, though. I'm talking like the uprise in the beginning of the championship career. I touched on that, though. As the championship reign went on, you know, output just got lower and lower, and he started fighting more safer and more safer. Sorry to click this, but I'm trying to see how far we are into this video. We're 11 minutes into this video.
Sean Strickland's fight in particular, that was the fight that we really realized, like, oh, shit. Adesanya just can't box. I mean, he's just not very good in that area.
His boxing looked okay
Sean
against
Strickland's
DDP.
defense is off the charts. It just is, right? He completely shut down Adesanya's kicking game, and he pressured the fuck out of him. And that forced Adesanya to have to box. It was the only thing there for him, and he just couldn't do it. He was just getting walked down. He was getting jabbed constantly. Adesanya was trying to land, but Strickland was just doing his patented lean back, dodging everything, which eventually started forcing Adesanya to have to start overextending. He was missing badly.
When he wants to be
countered. And again, right, that is the fight that we realized he's not a very strong boxer. I mean, he's just not. And then you look at Nasruddin Imavov, and he is a very good boxer. His hand speed is very, very fast. He has very good,
especially in the pocket, man. Especially in
combinations. In the pocket, he legitimately blows Adesanya away. Just skill for skill in the boxing. So, with that being said, maybe it does make sense why he's only a very slight underdog against Adesanya. Well, look, right, I understand why it might sound like I'm belittling Israel Adesanya when I talk about the fact that his boxing is not very strong, that all he does is slide away and jab and leg kick. I understand how it sounds, because I absolutely am belittling him. But I do want to be fair here. He is very, 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 very good from kicking range. I mean, he just is. There's no way getting around.
It's hard to get to him.
From distance, he's an absolute bitch to
and he's
beat
an record. He's so accurate. He's so accurate. And he's not even hitting you with things that are super meaningful or hurt that much. But damn, he's outpointing me. Like he's ahead. I can't get to him and he's ahead.
Very particular things you have to have in order to beat him.
You have
to be able to shut down Adesanya straight shots down the middle. His jabs, his 1-2s, and you have to shut down his kicking game. Of course, Sean Strickland was able to do this because, one, his boxing defense is arguably the best in the UFC, and of course, his leg kick defense is absolutely phenomenal, and because he was walking Adesanya down and constantly putting him on the back foot,
that's the problem. You got to throw kicks to the body against Strickland. You got to throw kicks to the body against Strickland. He protects head. He protects legs. Got to throw kicks to the body. DDP.
That is what completely neutered his high kicks. Dricus du Plessis was able to do this via his durability. He was just rushing at Adesanya. And of course, Adesanya, like we mentioned, is not going to find his counters. He's just going to try to slide away.
Bro, that's so crazy, dude. He's throwing. Bro, look at where he is. Look at where he is. Bro, he's not even looking at his target. Izzy, what are you trying to grab? Why aren't you countering? Why aren't you stepping off at an angle? What are you?
Of course, Adesanya, like we mentioned, is not going to find his counters. He's just going to try to slide away, which allowed Dricus just to keep rushing over and over and over again until he started finding success. And of course, his durability allowed him to tank pretty much all of Adesanya's offense, which Adesanya actually did show a lot of improvements in that fight. He had been working on his pure boxing ever since the
you could
Sean
tell the
Strickland
hands,
fight. And
the hands had
Dricus,
improved.
he was doing a really good job ripping to the body, landing
Beautiful
more
shots.
diverse combinations, but it didn't really matter. Dricus ate a lot of clean shots, but he frankly just tanked all of it. I'm sure it didn't feel good, but obviously, it wasn't enough to really hurt him. So now we look at Nasruddin, and we already know in the pocket he's going to be the way cleaner boxer. If they were fighting in a phone booth, I would be spamming the Amavov money line, but they're
I
not.
agree.
So, can he close the distance effectively? Is he going to be able to deal with Adesanya's kicking game or his straight shots down the middle?
I think so.
Based on what we've seen,
I think so.
I don't think he is going to be able to do that. Now,
I think so. And he's going to have a speed advantage against Israel Adesanya. I think he will be able to get in Izzy's face.
Again, there is so much film study on Adesanya that at this point, it is no secret what his game is. It is no secret what he's going to be looking to do.
Especially Imavov, he fought a guy like Strickland, and fighting Izzy and fighting Strickland is completely different. But Strickland is a guy who is going to stay defensively sound. He's going to pick you apart. Sean Strickland, in a way, even though he likes to box, he keeps you at range. Because when you get too close, he's going to teep you until he's ready to punch you. Then he's going to teep you back. Ha, I hit you, teep, back up. Ha, I hit you, teep, back up. See what I'm saying? And Imavov was able to get through that in the latter rounds and make it a war and really get in his face, say, bite down on my face, say, fuck it. I think it's harder to penetrate Strickland's defense. I'm using MMA math and it doesn't always work. But I think it's harder to penetrate Strickland's defense than it is Izzy's. Especially whenever you do get in his face and you make your moments count, Izzy will give you respect in a fight. Like, rewatch that Izzy versus Alex Pereira fight. And dude, Izzy got hit with some shit early. I want to say with a left. He took it, and as soon as he took it, he went to clinch. As if like it buzzed him a little bit, but he was all right. And then from every point after that, once Alex got him close to the fence, Izzy would immediately just spam clinch. Like, and obviously Alex Pereira has a different type of power, but Izzy is a guy who does not get hit. He doesn't get hit. But when he does, if you make it count, like Strickland did when he dropped him in the first round, he will give you respect. So I think all of that plays a factor. I like him in this fight.
Possible that
I think it will be competitive, though.
Camp are working on a very, very specialized approach for this fight. But if we're judging him based on his last fights, which that is really all we can do, he does not deal with leg kicks well at all. He is very susceptible to straight shots. He's very susceptible to jabs. And I think it comes down to a few reasons why. For one, Amavov stands very, very bladed. He kind of stands like a karate fighter, all right? He's practically sideways. And because of that, he has eaten a lot of clean.
That is true. He does eat leg kicks. And that's Izzy's game. That's what Izzy wants to do. Izzy just wants to kick you at range. But if Imavov steps into range, like, just get in his face.
Leg kicks during his
He's not going to kick you when you're in his face. This one's different. There was a threat of a takedown. Yeah, and after round 2 and 3, Brennan was still shooting when he probably shouldn't have because he was doing kind of well on the feet. But he kept shooting. And I think Imavov respected Allen's takedown a lot in this fight. And with it being 3 rounds, he didn't want to. He knew if he got on his back, there's a chance he's not getting up, and he didn't want to risk it. Cannonier's a little different. That was a good fight. That was such a good fight. Horrible stoppage. That stoppage sucked. I had Cannonier money line here. But I'm going to let Shake.
Brandon Allen landed a good amount of leg kicks. Jared Cannonier had a lot of success landing.
Because when you think Jared Cannonier, you don't think leg kicks. You think boxing, big power. When you think Brendan Allen, You don't think leg kicks. You think grappling. Hands to keep me busy to get my hands up so he can get in on the takedown. Or he can he can initiate a clinch. I think he's game planning for leg kicks. And it's kind of assuming something, but like, come on, man, you gotta be ready to leg kicks.
And of course,
fighting
the
Israel
other
Adesanya.
issue I see for Maybov is he is very hittable. He's very susceptible to the jab, and that is because for being such a strong boxer, he does not have a very long reach at all. He only has a 75-inch reach. Compare that to Adesanya's 80-inch reach.
80,
for
just 80?
Maybov to have success, he needs to be standing right in front of you in the pocket, right? And he is very technical. He does have good slips and good counters, but in order to build those reads, he needs to be essentially standing right in front of you throwing. And because of that, I mean, you look at the Jared Cannonier fight. The first 2 rounds of that fight, he was so susceptible to his jabs and his twos. And again, right, eventually, he timed it perfectly, slipped, and landed a beautiful counter shot that actually really hurt Cannonier. But again, he ate a lot of shots prior to that. Based on Adesanya's game, these are just 2 massive weaknesses that is absolutely going to be difficult to overcome. Of course.
So for me, I've established that Israel Adesanya, when you get in his face and you make him box in the pocket, he's not good. He's not good. In Maybov, at kicking range, it's not too great. Because of his stance, he takes leg kicks. He does eat jabs. I don't want to say extremely susceptible, but he eats jabs. Straight shots, you can get to him. You can touch him up. And Maybov almost like doesn't really care if he's at range about defense. It's almost like he's not even trying to slip the jab. Oh, you throw something, let me try to counter. It's like he's always looking for when to initiate offense.
Of course, though, Maybov is probably going to have his opportunities to do really good work here. And it's going to come down to the fact that he just needs to walk Adesanya down. If he just rushes at Adesanya with punches, we know he's going to try to slide away. But because of his length, his height, his reach, it is going to be difficult to track him down. But if you can get him backed up to the fence is where I think Maybov can do his best work. There have been multiple moments, one in the Jared Cannonier fight and one in the second Robert Whittaker fight, where they were able to back Adesanya up to the fence, but
and he's like this.
Weirdly enough, they elected to just back away and allow Adesanya to move back to space.
This is
true. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing there. All right, I just couldn't believe it. And of course, now that I'm saying this, I'm sure at least one person goes, no, actually, Israel Adesanya, if you didn't realize, is a specialist with his back up against the fence. Did you see what he did to Alex Pereira? And what I would say to that is, no.
Dickhead. No. I don't know what he's about to say right here, but first off, they said that. No. Hell no. And no. But that shot he landed on Alex, man, I'm not going to say luck. It takes skill to throw that shot. But I think it was a last-ditch effort because his leg was gone. And if he didn't pull something out of the fire right then and there, he was going to sleep. And it takes somebody great to pull it out of the fire. That's why I say it's not luck, it takes skill. But he threw those motherfuckers with his eyes closed, praying. That's not a specialist with his back against the fence.
I would just say no. Obviously, right, genius move by Adesanya to play possum the way he did.
I don't even think he was playing possum. People say that. I don't think he was playing possum. His leg was fucked.
Alex Pereira thought that he was finished, just started unloading
he wasn't playing
on
possum.
Adesanya, wasn't working.
And if he was, he was one more leg kick away from it being a problem. He wasn't playing possum.
About defense, he practically runs into an overhand. Yeah, fucking obviously you're not going to do that. Obviously you're not going to throw an 8-punch combination not worrying about defense. But the last place you want to be fighting Adesanya is at range. If you get him up against the fence, I want a simple 3-punch combination. Rip to the body, try to land a shot upstairs. And to me, that is absolutely what Maybov needs to do. Just try to walk Adesanya down, get in his face. That's going to be really the one way I think he could kind of negate Adesanya's kicking game. If he can pressure him to the fence, that's where...
And try to catch a kick. He caught some of Cannonier's kicks. I'm not sure if he caught Brendan Allen's kicks. But yeah, he's good at catching kicks as well because he doesn't check them. So if they come high enough for him to grab it, it's not good to catch kicks because a guy like Israel Adesanya will come over the top, right over your shoulder, KO you. But that's another way.
Where the fast
Initiate a
hands in the
scramble.
pocket is really going to open up. But if he doesn't do that, and if this fight ends up being at range, it's just going to be a very difficult stylistical matchup for Amavov. Again, right, it is no secret what Adesanya's game is, all right? There's so much film study on him. We all know what he's going to do. Any competent coach can outline Adesanya's game perfectly. So, again, I'm going to be very interested to see what kind of approach Amavov takes to this fight because obviously on paper there are some issues for him. But again, you would assume that he's going to be very, very well prepared for it. I think there are some paths to victory for Amavov here. But again, all I can do is base this fight off what we've seen from them in their past fights. And because of that, I am going to have to lean towards Adesanya to win this one. But do not be surprised if we see Amavov just put on a masterclass where he just has the...
That's cheating. I do that sometimes too. That's cheating. You picked Izzy. Don't say do not be surprised. Nuh-uh. You picked Izzy. Thank you for that. Let me know who you guys think are going to win the fight down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Share this to somebody. Hope they enjoy it just like you will. It's 9:08 p.m. Try to get this out to y'all. I'm sorry this is this late. I'll try to do better next time. You ain't got to go home. You got to get up out here, man.